Hi, my name is Tony Huang, the founder of TechExecs Network, here in Austin, Texas at the IBM Innovation Center. Today we're hosting the CIO and IT Leadership Forum here in Austin, Texas, and let's go grab a couple people for a quick soundbite. With me is Mike Wolfe, the CIO of AMD. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here. Thank you.
So you're one of our speakers this morning, and also you are on the panel. What are you going to be presenting?
A little bit about where we see the market going. AMD sees three big trends. The cloud is one, convergence is another, and consumerization, and you put BYOD under there. And how are we then embracing those changes both as a supplier of technology and as a consumer of technology?
Are you going to talk from the internal perspective or both sides?
Both sides, yeah.
So on the panel today, you guys are going to be talking about future of IT. Share with me a little bit about future of IT from your perspective.
I think it's very, very different, especially for IT professionals, because the notion that an IT professional is going to decide what comes into the network and what the enterprise uses, I think, are dead. And I think the number of devices and the explosion of personal applications is going to fundamentally change where we're going.
Well, thank you so much for being on the panel and also being one of the speakers. If there's a couple key takeaway points for other executives that are watching this, what would that be?
I think the big one for IT professionals is embrace the change, don't fight it. I think it's inevitable. I think we've already lost that battle, if you want to view it that way. And so the question becomes, how do you coexist with the new reality?
Thanks so much, Mike, for being on the panel.
Thanks.
With me is Russ Finney. He's the former VP of IT. Also, right now, you're with Stryve.
That's correct. Stryve is an advisory firm. It actually has about a 25-year history. It started out as a company that was founded by Jim Champy and Michael Hammer back in the days of business process reengineering. They wrote a book, and several firms kind of emanated out of that. One was called Index, and another one was called Concourse Group. And recently, it's kind of all reformed together into this consultancy called Stryve. We do research, we do advisory. It's a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are clients. And growing the business and getting more into deeper levels of implementation and a lot of innovation.
So, Russ, you're going to be one of our keynote speakers today on the future of IT.
That's right.
So what are you going to be sharing with everyone?
Well, prior to Stryve, I worked with Tokyo Electron, had a lot of insight into hardware, semiconductors, and that sort of thing. So I felt like I was pretty good at guessing the future by listening to our engineers. But really with this firm, we have researchers, and there's people thinking ahead pretty deeply on it.
How far ahead?
I would say 5 years, really.
5 to 8?
Now, I'm talking about 8 today. So a little bit of reality and a little bit of guessing. But I look forward to it. I really spent some time with looking through the research and really looking at what predictions are out there. And it's a big changing landscape at the moment. So I really look forward to talking about that.
So for those people that are not able to be here today, are there a couple key takeaway points about the future of IT?
I think so. So a couple of things I'm going to really focus on. One is really looking at how originally we had these vertical business models. And now today with cloud and a lot of things going to external, really there's a horizontal type business model coming into play these days. Really I'm going to talk about how that's impacting the IT, how it's impacting the decisions that CIOs are making, and really what that transition means for the business itself. So that would be one key point. Also there's a lot of transition going on within the business from all these technology opportunities. So the way that we used to do marketing, the way that we used to do sales, that's all changing now. And I'm going to talk about what some of those predictions are and what the future looks like in about 8 years.
Well, thanks, Russ. I think it's going to be a very enlightening information that's going to be sharing with everyone. And thank you for being one of the speakers today.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
With me is Logan McLeod. He's Director of Emerging Technologies at Dell Corporation. So Logan, thank you for being on the panel this morning. What are you going to be sharing with people?
Well, what I'm going to be talking about today is really about the inflection points in technology as we move forward and kind of the delta between the pace of change in technology and the realities of where enterprise IT is, and being able to adopt the new technologies that are emerging and apply those in a way that, you know, dramatically changes the way that IT value is delivered to the business and eliminates the, you know, year-long wait that most organizations or businesses have to get in line to get serviced by IT, and help IT transform into something that can rapidly react to you know, a constant change in business. And a lot of trends around emerging in big data and how end users you know, experience technology and bringing that to work, and consumerization trends and whatnot, and that you know, everything is on that parabolic or exponential curve of change. And, you know, how do you rationalize and work within the confines of kind of enterprise deployment scenarios to support the business, right? In the CTO's office, I've got a bit of a unique position in that I'm also come from a long history and background within enterprise IT. I'd spent many years working on technology strategy for Dell and in the transportation sector before that. But more recently, I'm now focused on the external trends and informing our product development and where we go in the future to help transform Dell as a company from a equipment, you know, manufacturer to really a solution provider that's focused on changing and solving business problems, as opposed to talking about you know, from a bottoms-up technology first answer to problems.
Thank you so much for being on the panel this morning. And for those people that are unable to make it today, what are some takeaway points?
Well, I think people need to be thinking about how IT value is delivered to the business, right? You know, how are you going to respond to, you know, the next generation of technology? What are you going to do beyond cloud? What is beyond cloud? How are you dealing with big data? How are you dealing with emerging mobile technologies that your people are bringing into your networks? And how are you going to manage those? And I think the future is all about getting out of the way of the business, getting out of the way of the consumer, and enabling that. And a lot of the time we talk about putting the proper frameworks and using cloud and big data as a tool to get prepared for the future pace of change, as opposed to some of the legacy approaches.
Well, thank you so much for being on the panel today. We look forward to hearing more from you.
All right, thank you very much.
With me is Rob High. He's with IBM. Rob, so what is your title and what do you do for IBM?
I am the CTO for Watson Technologies. I have technical strategy responsibility for Watson and how we bring that to market. I have been with IBM for about 31 years. My official title is IBM Fellow and Vice President. Watson is a system whose intent is to be able to interpret questions, to be able to read natural language, interpret the question, and seek out sort of the best answers and evidence for why that is the correct answer for that question amongst a very large base of written knowledge.
And for those people that are not able to be here today, what are some key takeaway points that you're going to be sharing?
For the day as an executive, first of all, keep up with technology. Technology is changing rapidly. It's infiltrating every aspect of our life. It is important to understand how to best harness it and how to differentiate between technology that's going to be useful for us versus technology that is simply consuming time. So stay with the technology, understand it, and understand its utility back to how we conduct our businesses and how we conduct our lives.
So most of your focus is on enterprise companies, or is it mid-range or small businesses?
Traditionally, I've always focused on enterprise companies, but of course, as a human being, I get pretty involved with others as well. So I try to stay conscious of the full gamut, but from a business standpoint, we focus primarily on large problems, high-value problems, and trying to solve sort of the more difficult issues that enterprises deal with. And that naturally leads us to focusing on large enterprises as well.
Well, thank you so much for being our speaker and being on the panel today.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. And thank you for inviting me today. I enjoyed it.
Ms. Lazaslav with BII Consulting. So, Lazaslav, what does BII do?
Well, we are an IBM partner, and we're really focusing on implementing business analytics and data warehousing solutions. Small companies, large companies, you name it. Well, usually it's the data problem. Companies collect more and more data every day right now, but what they're really struggling with how to analyze the data. Our focus is to help them, make it clear for them, help them making better decisions.
How long has the company been around?
We have been around for about 5 years, all of them with IBM. Our experience goes back till the late 90s, working with Cognos software family.
Well, so how did people find you on the website?
Well, they can go to our website, which is biconsulting.com.
Me, Susan Finley. She's with the IBM Innovation Centers. How are you, Susan?
Hi, good morning. I'm fine. How are you this morning?
Very good, very good. So thank you so much for letting us be here at this venue.
You're very welcome. On behalf of the Austin IBM Innovation Center, we're delighted to host TechExecs.
Thank you so much. So what is IBM Innovation Center?
Our Innovation Center works with a very large ecosystem. So we support our business partners, ISV professionals, IT professionals. We are very interested in academia, supporting faculty with curriculum and developing the skills that students need. Our favorite area for me personally is startups. The Austin site has about 6,000 people here, and we are all research and development. So it's very interesting. It's hardware and software.
Thank you again for letting us be here, for being here using this place as a venue. So we appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're very welcome. Thanks so much for coming.
Wow, that was a fabulous event. Today at the IBM Innovation Center. Again, my name is Tony Huang. I'm the founder of TechExecs Network. For those of you that are not able to make it to today's event, I hope that you enjoyed the video and all the speakers and panelists. And then to find out a little bit more about us, go to www.techexecs.net. See you next time.